Yo guys, welcome back to the Touchline Up Podcast, episode 17. It's the final World Cup episode. Sum up the tournament in 3 words, Hussein.
Wow, wow, wow.
Nice.
That's all you're getting from me. Just shock and awe and that is the best World Cup that I could have asked for. I didn't know if there was something that could top 2010, but I can easily say that this has done it. Easily, without a shadow of a doubt. So I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be less excited for club football. I couldn't care less about club football. I just want another World Cup. But, that's the beauty of it. Now we got to wait 4 years to see something like this again. Happy for Messi. A little bit sad for Mbappe, which I didn't expect. But, yeah, that's my my general overview. What about you?
I do agree that it is probably the most unpredictable and exciting World Cup, probably of our time of being alive, or ever probably.
Yeah.
But it's insane, and it's finally, for the first time in football history, we're seeing the gulf between European and South American teams.
European and non-European.
I mean,
not
European
just South
team. I
America.
mean, like European, South American teams, and then Asian and African teams. That gap is
Yeah,
closing. That's what I mean.
yeah, definitely.
So I'm
Definitely.
I'm really happy to see that because I've been waiting for this. I want to see. I do think that every country has the I don't know the opportunity to do well, and we saw that with Morocco. But before we get into that, we're gonna start with the greatest game of football as it has been billed ever. That's what everyone's calling it. I don't know if I agree with that.
I wouldn't disagree, man. I would not disagree. As a final, that has everything that you possibly ask for. It starts us off with an early goal from Messi, which cemented his scoring in every stage of the knockouts in the World Cup. Went from that to Argentina to France looking so poor that even for a second I was even beginning to question whether or not this cup was rigged. And then my family was joking about it after, and they were like, um, it was rigged, and each of them got offered 10 mil. And then Mbappe at the end was like, you know what? 10 mil is not enough. And then he started turning off. Obviously, all jokes, but a shocking performance from France. I'm not going to lie. Some changes made in the first half, even in the second half, that really, really were so questionable. Could have potentially gone down as the worst managerial changes ever. However, 3 goals did result from making these changes, so I'm not gonna be so upset about those. I don't understand why he took Theo off, because he was making things happen down the left flank. Um, but and the fact that he didn't even give Giroud and Dembele even a chance to fix up. What did he take him off in the 35th minute? Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
your second top scorer, who's got 4 goals before the final. He was equal to no, yeah, he was equal to Mbappe before the final, and then suddenly you take him off in the 35th because he hasn't scored in 35 minutes, and and the thing is, against Morocco in the semis, he was pressing well. It's not what he usually does, but he was pressing well. He was all over the pitch. He was sprinting. He was moving. He was really applying the pressure. So I definitely could see him doing that in the second half. I think he should have been given a chance. And Dembele was making things happen all tournament. I think to take him off after 35 minutes of game it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't, and till now I don't understand it. To bring on Kolo Muani, who, bro, he's a kid, and Turan. Like are these changes you want to be making in the first half of a World Cup final? Make some tactical changes, change your formation, change your strategy, how you're defending, how you're pressing, sure. But to take off Giroud and Dembele, I just didn't understand that.
I don't know. I actually disagree with you completely. I was
Interesting.
I was questioning it. I was, because I remember we were in the group and I was like, "What an idiot! He's taking off Dembele and Giroud." Obviously, the rumors going around. Oh well, the fact is that there was a bug going around the French squad, and was like,
Yeah.
what was Giroud and Dembele? Were they victims of it? Were they ill? Whatever the reason, Dembele looked off the pace. He didn't do anything. He gave away a penalty. Giroud wasn't involved. Whether that's his fault or not is up for debate, but he didn't get on the ball. Now, what Moani brought is Moani came back, and because he's young, he's younger, he's more energetic, he's quicker, he hasn't got as many minutes, so he made things happen. And Thuram got the assist for the second goal. Mbappe is amazing, volley, like insane
Hmm.
volley. And Teo, I do agree that if you kept him on, you would have had more. France would have had more of an attacking threat. But you take him off to have that defensive solidity. Because I was going, oh, Camavinga left back, what an idiot. Camavinga is one of the most promising young midfielders, but this guy locked Messi up.
Yeah, he actually did. He
He
actually did.
locked him up. Like, this kid is special. If he can just go slot in at left back like that and lock up the best player in the world, what's going on? You know. But
Yeah, no, that was very surprising to see. I'm not gonna lie.
it's true. It's Deschamps. You know, he is a good coach. I think it is overlooked a lot, but those subs showed it. Everyone doubted him. It almost paid off. All those subs almost paid off. But yeah. So going through the game, like you said, Messi got the early goal. Fantastic goal for Argentina's second. Just one touch stuff. Just from defense to
Yeah.
Messi, through McAllister to Di Maria. And Di Maria, I don't like him at all, but he is a war horse, a stallion. I don't know what it is. He's 34. He's lost all his pace, but he's still got something about him.
Wow, no, he has that. He's got that Brazilian flair, first of all, and he's intelligent. Like he's not just a normal winger. He's an intelligent winger. Like, the stigma around wingers is that they're just pace merchants and they just run down the wing and cross the ball or pass or whatever. But he's so skillful, and his IQ is so high. He knows where to be. He knows when to be there. He knows how to drag a player in. He knows how to win a foul. He's really got it all for a winger. I think he might go down as one of the most disrespected wingers ever, to be completely honest. Because if you look at his career, this guy has really done it all, but nobody looks at him as that guy. Like almost like Giroud. So, but Di Maria, man, he's proven himself again. What was that, 3 back-to-back finals he scored in, by the way? And he's a winger.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
He's always performed in finals, even back for Real Madrid's La Decima final. He was man of the match in that. He's I think he's quite disrespected. But after that, Argentina
Real
controlled...
Madrid just produced the absolute best wingers, man. Like, they're so good at that. Like, that's just what they like. Think about it. Like, they do not sign bad wingers. They don't develop bad wingers. Like, the worst of their decade has probably been Asensio, who isn't even bad.
That's true. That's true. And they just signed Endrick, that 16-year-old kid, for like 70 million.
I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
But
I guess that's something for
we
another
said
time,
this
but...
about Vinny and Rodrigo, so I'm not gonna speak just yet.
Man, the thing is, right? Vinny did not get signed when he was 16.
No, he didn't.
Vinny has not proven himself. Like, no, Vinny had proven himself. Endrick has not proven himself as like someone who's worth 70 mil. Bro, 70. The thing is, with the way like the market's been going, like these players are just being valued at so much higher because there's so much more money being pumped into football than before. But that's why to this day, like when you hear 100 mil, you're like, oh, that's like a bank breaking signing. But for a lot of teams, it's not. Like no team is limiting all of their other signing potential by making £100 million signing. Like that's just, it's like, okay, we'll make £100 million signing because our budget is 200, our budget is 300. You've seen how many times now Chelsea spent 200 million in a transfer window not too long ago. So did City. So like these things happen. So I'm not shocked about it. I just, I'm still with the old school thought process of like, if you want to be valued, like look at Milan's record fee is like 45 mil.
Yeah,
that's the second biggest team in history. Their record fee is 45 mil because they know how to sign players. But I do think there is like two sides to every coin. Like, I think now this is the time where Milan should be breaking the record, going for a 60, 70 million pound signing. But yeah, anyways, moving back to the game, I
just need to take a minute here to just apologize.
Yeah.
I'd just like to apologize to everyone, right? Every single person, everyone who messaged me, you were all right. Hussein, you were right. Everyone who called me an idiot, and I was like, no, you're all idiots. I was keeping quiet about Mbappe, and then I was in the 78th or 77th minute. I was like, this guy, another final, he hasn't showed up. And I was messaging a guy from our course who was giving it to me, so I gave it to him. I'm like, oh, look at this. He scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. 2 goals in 2 minutes, and one was a penalty, fair enough, but you're against Emi Martinez. He scored 1 penalty, and he scored one of the most clutch, beautiful volleys I've ever seen at a big stage. Wow, 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 wow. He
I
single-handedly
think
took the country and put it on his back.
I think one thing that everyone is sleeping on, right? Like you said, Emi Martinez scores one penalty, goes and scores the second,
Hmm.
goes and scores the third. Imagine scoring three penalties in a row against Emi Martinez.
Exactly.
I don't think people understand. Martinez won goalkeeper of the tournament, right? How many has he saved in penalty shootouts, right? Like that's what he does.
It is.
He had three tries with Mbappe and he couldn't. Mbappe did not buckle under the pressure like he did in the Euros. He's showing growth. He's showing growth. He messed up in a knockout game. He wasn't around. He didn't show up, and I think he was getting flashbacks to that, and then something just suddenly clicked in him in the 80th, and then
It
there
looked
you
like
go.
it looked like it was going to be the same. It didn't. He wasn't involved in the game. Nothing was coming off.
Mm.
But that's the thing about football. You get one. It was a penalty. One break like that, which Muani won. So
Yeah,
that happened, and it went to extra time. 77th minute, we were like, it's done. 81st, we're like, okay, well, game on. Who's gonna win
yeah.
this final? But extra time, I really, really Messi scored, and I really, really wanted that to be the winning goal because I'm like, Messi wins the World Cup. But Mbappe said, no, I don't care about your legacy. I don't care if people love you. I'm going to score another penalty. Which also, why is Paredes' arm this high in the 120th minute? What are you
Yeah,
doing? It's
yeah.
not going anywhere. What are you doing?
Crazy,
But
crazy. And then he finally, he. Oh, can I ask you a question now? Who's better, Kane or Mbappe?
my answer to this question is Mbappe is of course better, but I would still rather have Kane at Man United. At Manchester United, I'd rather have Kane.
Okay, but the question isn't who would you rather have at Manchester United. The question is who's a better
Yeah,
striker.
Mbappe is better. The way he was moving on the ball completely took away my pace merchant point. That it took it out and it took a crap on it.
By
Like,
the way, can I just say I didn't mention this the last time. 'Cause I didn't think there was a point in arguing. But as soon as you said pace merchant against the Morocco game as well, do you remember how the second goal went in? Bro, he dragged in five
no, I
defenders
know. I was
with his close control.
I
Five
know.
defenders he dragged in with his close control. That's how Colomwani freed up. Bro, like this guy, he just does have it all. He just does have it all. I don't care what
Yeah.
anyone
No, the
says with
way he
respect
moves
to
on the
everyone's opinion.
ball, is unlike anything I've seen before. It's very sharp. I mean,
For
it's
sure.
unsustainable because when he gets older, he can't play like that anymore. But for now, he is probably the
I
best.
mean, that's what happened to Ronaldo. Like Ronaldo still goes down as the second greatest player of all time, but that's exactly how his game depreciated over time as well. He
The
he
second
got he
best.
caught an injury at like
The second
31.
best.
Come on, guys, we can't deny this anymore. Like I don't like it, but yeah, man, the second best.
Bro, have you seen this Ronaldo fans like fighting for their lives on Twitter? They're like, Ronaldo's still the best.
Look. I think even a fool should know when to admit defeat. So okay, when it's staring you right in the face, like, are you still gonna deny it? Like this man has really done everything. I've tried my best to hate Messi. I'm not a Messi fan, right? But damn, is he the best player I've ever seen? This guy creates something out of nothing. No, that last goal against Croatia, that is what won me over. Finally, like in the very end, when I was like, I was still on the edge. The way he went down the side, the way he squared it off to Alvarez,
Hmm.
that is what won me over. And it's like he doesn't need to have exploded like that, right? They were already winning. They were already pretty much secured, and then boom, another one,
Yeah.
right? Like it was, man. There's no disputing, there's no denying. But let's talk about our most memorable moments, right? We have a couple of questions that we both have answers to. So, should we start with the most important and potentially controversial question? Who's your player of the tournament?
Now, we said we wouldn't pick Messi, but
Or Mbappe?
I'm not gonna pick Messi or Mbappe. Messi's the GOAT. I'm so happy he's won this World Cup. I still think Ronaldo is on just below, but they're the same level. Like I don't argue anymore. Like at their primes, we're talking now. Yeah, Messi's better, but in their primes, it was a hair, like nose hair in between them. Like, but
Yeah.
Best player in the tournament, I will have to say Rabiot. No, I'm kidding.
And Cole.
Honestly, I think. Nah, you tell me yours. I thought I had mine, but I've changed my mind. You tell me yours.
Sufyan Amrabat.
You know what? I can back that. I'm not gonna agree, but
Man.
I can say it's a point.
The thing is, yeah. First of all, no one expected Morocco to do what they did. Secondly, not only does he pass the eye test, right? Like that guy, he does it all as a midfielder. He is the perfect midfielder. He's a perfect 6. He's the perfect 8, potentially even a good solid 10, right? I saw him pass. The guy can pass. I saw him link up in the middle. The guy can link up in the middle. Oh, wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I got the 20% charge thing.
Okay.
But my screen froze. Right. And his ball recovery is incredible. His close dribbling. Man, this is a guy you spend 100 million for. That's a guy that he's 26, by the way, just entering the prime of his career. That's a guy you spent 100 million for. Came out of nowhere. I honestly think he is the James Rodriguez of this World Cup, but better, right? And I don't think it's understood. Just so you have, I'm gonna say 3, but mainly 2 key players that were the reason of Morocco's success, right? And I'm gonna only speak defensively, so I'm not bringing Ziyech into this. But you have Bono, Hakimi, and Amrabat. Hakimi is established. We all know how good Hakimi is.
Yep.
Amrabat came out of nowhere, and realistically, anything that went through the middle was stopped by him, with the exception of the couple times that Agrid and Saiss came in and made their blocks when they needed to. But the majority of everything flowed through Amrabat in the transition and was stopped by Amrabat in the other transition, right? Like, this guy was everywhere. He wouldn't stop running. And his performance against Spain, he was sick. He was like, I was debating whether or not I should play that game. And he played, and he was the man of the match, undoubtedly. And by the way, do you know what it means to completely take Sergio Busquets out of a game? He had no involvement in that game.
That's true.
He schooled Sergio Busquets. That, my friend, was a passing of the torch moment. I think Amrabat will easily be my player of the tournament, and that is a tournament performance to be remembered for hundreds of years by Africans. So yeah, let's hear yours.
That's facts. For me, the thing is, right, I'm looking at the semi-finals. I could pick any one of those Moroccan players, but you just have, so I'm not going to be boring. I'll mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
I could pick Modric, but then if you look at it, actually, Croatia were not that good, like, attacking-wise. They were good defensively and being compact and whatever. So then I have to go back to the quarterfinals. So these are the teams that didn't even make it to the semi-finals, but I'll have to go there. So if you look at the best players that were in the quarterfinals, we have...
You're going to say Bruno.
We have Rashford, we have Bruno.
Oh, yeah, stop TikTok. Stop tap. Stop. Yeah, just say what you want to say, but say Bruno.
Listen, I've not seen Bruno Fernandes play like this for Portugal ever. And he was the only one that was actually making things happen in that game when Portugal got knocked out. He was trying everything.
Can I offer a counterpoint?
What?
He was trying everything, and up until the quarters, and bear in mind, the quarters is not that deep into the tournament. We all expected Portugal to do a lot better than they did.
Yeah.
Up until the quarters, he played phenomenally. I won't deny that. But to be a player of the tournament, but knocked out in the quarters, let alone knocked out as an attacking midfielder who's produced 0 goals that game, or the team in general has scored 0 goals that game, right? And later in the tournament, Morocco have shown that they can't concede, because ever since the Portugal game, they've conceded 4 goals, right? So a team with structured and organized attack can't take them down. That's what happened, right? So I personally believe to say that Bruno was the player of the tournament is a little bit outlandish. However, I do respect your opinion. I do think he hadn't done enough, right? Up until the quarters, he played beautifully, but like,
I honestly think
who was Portugal's round of 16, right? Who did they play in the group stages?
No, I know that, but I honestly think in that quarterfinal, you put a Ronaldo that's even 2 or 3 years younger in the box, Portugal win that game. but you had a very inexperienced Gonçalo Ramos and a way too old Cristiano Ronaldo coming off the bench. So I don't blame him, and I did think he played amazingly, but like, you are right, you didn't make it far enough. But then when you go past it and you take out Messi and Mbappe, there's no standout players. There are other players that I'm gonna say for later in the video, but I can't come up with any of the other ones. I could say pretty much any Moroccan player, because wow, you know what? Nah. Okay, I'll say player of the tournament for me. Ziyech.
Man, that guy's a baller. That guy is a baller.
I was gonna say him because we have most surprise coming later. I was gonna say him, but you knew he had it. It's just he disappeared for a while, and the way he played for Morocco was like, wow, this guy must really hate Chelsea.
I'm telling you, man. Why do you think I want him at Milan so bad? You can really see when someone's talent is just being wasted somewhere, right? And I'm sorry to say it, but it happens a lot at United. A lot of players come to United and their talent just goes to waste for a bunch of years.
Use the past tense, right? It doesn't happen anymore.
I mean, we'll see about that, right? Because it's happening to Sancho as we speak.
That's just him,
right,
man. Honestly, that's him. But that's a topic for another day.
That is a topic for another day. But yeah, I mean, fair player of the tournament. What about your young player of the tournament? I don't know if you're gonna clock what I've done here.
I'll go with the pretty obvious one because he showed me how good he is, Alvarez, and it pisses me off. Because
you mean Aguero?
Basically, bro. I'm so annoyed. City have Haaland, the best number 9 in the world. Oh, Haaland's not working? Let's throw on the best young striker in the world. Bro, there are teams like us and many others that don't have an out-and-out striker. And they have two who are very different but are both so prolific. And it's so
what's so
annoying.
funny? What's so funny is that Pep was like, when Aguero retired, he was like, or left, sorry. He was like, well, he cannot be replaced. He can't, bro. You just replaced him like for an out-and-out Aguero. Like, this guy is destined to have a career like Aguero, hopefully. But yeah, pretty obvious. Do you want to elaborate any further?
I think he has the potential to do great things, but this is my hope, right? I want to like him, but as he's at City, it's a bit difficult. So my hope is Haaland stays there because they're about the same age. Haaland stays there, he doesn't get any game time, and Alvarez goes overseas, and then I can like him properly. So yeah, but what a baller, man. Honestly, to come in like that, I kept saying throughout all these episodes, you can't rely on this kid. Turns out you can. Second top scorer, or third top scorer. What a player.
Facts. I went a little different. Could be my bias, but I have an eye for players. No, I have an eye for players with flair, and I was just so impressed by this guy, Azzedine Ounahi, number 8 for Morocco. Man, that kid can ball. He was doing Ziyech better than Ziyech himself. I'm sorry, that guy was going. The thing is, Ziyech was doing what he was doing down the wings. It's pretty easy to dribble everyone down the wings. But this guy was going down the middle and doing exactly what Ziyech does and creating chances. And he plays with a smoothness that so many players lack. And I'll be so surprised if he doesn't get a big contract in the coming month, right? Because that guy can ball, and he's only 22.
He's getting a big move. He's 100% getting. He was one of the players that stood out. Him, Ziyech, but I didn't know.
The guy to join Milan, bro. I'm telling you.
Bro, Ounahi honestly seems
like... Titolari on the reserves. Stick Brahim Diaz on the bench.
Ounahi sounds like more of a Milan signing than Ziyech, in my opinion. He's 22, Yeah,
but I want Ziyech, man. I want that guy.
Yeah, you're gonna get Ounahi. And it's gonna be cheaper. He plays for Angers. Like, dude, this guy's up for grabs.
Would love for him to come to Milan. I would love that.
Yeah.
What about your goalkeeper? I'm gonna say my goalkeeper real quick, just so I can keep my streak 3 in a row. Bono. Yep. You go ahead now.
Jordan Pickford. No, I'm just joking.
Get out of here.
It's boring, but I have to go Emi Martinez. Come on now, this guy won 2.
Here's the thing, yeah. Okay, no, I get that he won 2 shootouts, but
he made the single most important save and iconic save in World Cup history. That's being played for decades.
Fair. You know what? Because when Colomwani was away there,
yeah,
I was like, "Khalas, it's done."
I was like,
it's done. This is how Messi loses the World Cup. I was
100%.
like 1,000,000%. Like, you know, those moments where you're like, you know, 1,000,000% what's about to happen, and he stopped it.
It was
So
a
respect.
great save, but the thing is, the ball went to the other end. Can we just talk about? Actually, no. We'll bring it up later. No, we don't. No, I'm not gonna bring it up later. Lautaro Martinez is a fraud. I don't care. The Inter strikers. I don't know what happened. Hussein, you were repping him earlier in this year. Like, he's good. You gotta
Oh, I
give him
was, man.
time.
I was because he's been good. He's been no for Inter. He's been good. I'm not gonna lie. He makes things happen for Inter. He was a good finisher. I don't know what happened. This guy crumbled under the pressure. I can't explain it, but damn, is he shocking? He is so
How many?
shocking.
He could have won the World Cup so many times for Argentina, but the spirit of Higuain went into him. He's trying his best to let Messi down,
Facts. That was crazy.
but it's fine. It's okay. He scored
Yeah,
it. Wait, did he take a pen? He scored his pen, didn't he?
he did score his pen. He
Yeah,
did. He did.
exactly.
Yeah.
And your boy scored as well, Dybala. The only thing he did in this whole World Cup.
Bro, I just feel so bad for the guy. Like, to be fair, like, okay, fine, he won the World Cup. He must be so happy, but he is definitely good enough to start on that team. I'm like just really annoyed that he didn't get the light that he deserves, right? Like, this could have been the World Cup where he shows that, like, yes, I'm injury prone, but look at how good I am. And he didn't get the opportunity. But he's still going to do it for Roma this season, I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Disappointing player. I mean, I went for the obvious one, but I'll hear yours
I
first.
think I went for the obvious. I think we went for the same guy.
Yeah, anyways, let's not say his name and let's move on.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Listen, I have a stat for you, right? Messi.
I don't need to hear no stats, bro. I don't need to hear any
Messi
stats.
in this World Cup alone has the same amount of goal involvements as Ronaldo across all of his 5 World Cups.
I said I don't need to hear any stats. Oh,
Look,
I already told you.
honestly, everyone was chatting to me, right? I'll admit when I'm wrong, but I was right. They were a lot of people chatted to me. Oh, I watch Ronaldo have a good World Cup now. It would be such a Ronaldo thing to do. Turns out it's not Ronaldo. I don't know who that guy is, right? You might as well just not have got on the plane, to be honest. Didn't do
Us, man,
anything.
it's age. It's age. Like, what do you want?
I'm
Oh,
beating
Father
I'm
Time
beating
catches
I'm beating a
everyone.
dead horse.
Yeah, it's age. Moving on. Disappointing country. Let's hear yours.
Disappointing country. England.
Fair. Can I just say, I think, but when you lose a game, right? First of all, you've been given 2 penalties. That almost never happens. You get 2 penalties in one game, right? First of all, you didn't finish your chances. Forget the penalty. Without the penalty, you did not finish your chances. The team that does not finish their chances does not win games. And then you get given a second penalty. And you know what's so funny is that after the first one, the way that Kane took it, I was watching the game with someone. I looked at that person and I was like, that was such a courageous penalty because often when players like take him with power, they sky him. And he takes another one. That's exactly what happens. It's oh man. Like I honestly just felt I couldn't even care. I was so happy that I made that observation out loud to someone else before that happened as well. Because I was like, you know what? This shows that I know what I'm talking about. Um, Here's the thing. You lose, you go out, okay, halas, you lost. What can you do? Then to come out and say some of the worst refereeing I've ever seen, this referee's to be fired, oh, we only lost because of the refs, they won France the game. No, they didn't. France won France the game because England just could not finish a chance to save their lives, right?
To be fair, when Ben and Charlie came on, when you were busy, partying like a
Okay.
legend,
Yeah.
they both didn't blame the ref. They said the ref performance, yeah, wasn't great, but listen, at the end of the day, England's performance wasn't good enough, and Kane choked. They both said basically the same thing, and that's. I would love Kane at United still. It's just if we get a penalty in the 90th minute, put anyone but him on it. Honestly,
Give it to Bruno.
Put De Gea on it, bro. I don't want Kane on that.
I did say Kane is not a big game player. That's just, yeah, again.
That is
my
his
point,
issue,
please.
isn't it? That is his issue.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just think he wasted his years at Tottenham. He could have developed and taken himself to the next level if he went elsewhere, but I think this is the best he'll ever be. And he doesn't come close to Mbappe, in my opinion, but let's not get into that again.
No, yeah.
My disappointing country shocked me, like genuinely shocked me. I didn't expect this team to play as poorly as they did. I didn't expect this camp to be as unprofessional as it was. I didn't expect such a player to have so little class, Mister. We're too old,
Uh-huh.
right? So I
Yeah.
could pinpoint a million different things, right? We could start off with KDB, who did nothing. He produced nothing. He defended nothing. He passed nothing. He scored nothing, right? He was just a big ball of nothing. Okay, that was their biggest player. Who's their second biggest player? Lukaku? Okay.
Kaka.
Let's talk about Lukaku in one half having the most big chances missed of a whole tournament in one half of the game, right? Misses like 2 1-on-1s and 2 open goals. Bro, like you can just tell that camp was so problematic. And yes, it's true your team is too old. It's true you guys never really had a chance, right? But any team that defies the odds, like the odds are not with them, but any team that defies the odds is a team that will say, you know what, excuse me, screw the odds. We can do this, right? And if you don't have that kind of energy, then like what are you expect? Why are you playing? Why did you even come to Qatar? Like what you could have given your spot to someone else. You could have let Diki Tulare start, maybe gain some confidence if you guys are so sure that you're not gonna produce anything, right? And just it was honestly just a waste of a team. Like I would have rather seen some other country who actually wanted to play in the World Cup be in the World Cup. They didn't even want to be there. Like, and apparently I don't know how many players on the team itself flew home separately after the group stages. They didn't even fly home together.
It's
Crazy.
so weird. Two of your senior players, Courtois and De Bruyne, don't talk. Like it's really toxic, and I don't know. I think it does have something to do with the manager. Their manager got sacked from Everton, got relegated with Wigan. Why do you have him managing the golden generation? Like I don't understand. It's done now, the golden generation. Now you're left with a very mediocre team with Lukaku up front. I mean, but you're right. I do think though, if Belgium played England, I think England would win. But
No, England. They still made it to the.
yeah,
Semis? I'll say semis. Yeah,
they did.
no.
But that England team,
Did they make it
honestly,
semis or quarters? Am I
the
crazy? Did
quarters,
England make semis?
the quarters.
Quarters.
They have so much
That's right.
potential, but Southgate is
They do.
staying.
They do.
He's
They
staying
do.
until the next tournament, and that I think is going to cost them.
That is concerning.
You've got Bellingham, bro. Bellingham is the most complete. You know what? I might, if he made it further, I would have put him in front of Alvarez. But he looks like the most complete young midfielder I've ever seen.
Agreed. Can we agree on one thing, right? If Southgate selected Fikayo, that France game could have gone differently. Tchouaméni would not have had such an open opportunity to score, first and foremost. I don't care what anyone says. Because Fikayo can cover and will cover. And he would have been exactly where he needed to be, and that ball would not have gone in. Fikayo could have... Bro, like, I'm sorry. Okay, fine. Maguire's been having a good turn, but, like, who besides Maguire was defending well that game? Well, okay, to be fair, Walker did pocket Mbappe. But Dembele was having his way with Luke Shaw. I don't even remember who started alongside...
Stones.
Who played? Stones. Where was Stones?
What was Stones doing? So mediocre. I don't know why people rate him. I don't understand.
Are you truly telling me that Tomori, if he played instead of Stones, would have conceded those 2 goals? No. Maybe one of them, but both of them? No. And I said it from the start. Not selecting Tomori is what's going to cost them the World Cup. And in my opinion, that's exactly what happened.
I honestly don't know why he didn't bring Tomori. It's the English bias, you know. It's the English bias. The players that go overseas are frowned upon. It is what it is. I mean, I hope he gets picked in the next one, because after that he'll be coming on to 30 and won't have his pace anymore.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, second to last as we wrap things up, surprise player or players. I have 2.
I was gonna say Unahi, but you stole it from me.
You can still say it. I mean, I'm using one that you've already said as well.
I'll come up with a different name. You say yours.
Okay, so I've got number 1, the obvious, Ziyech. That guy, like, the thing is, surprise for you, but not a surprise for me. I knew it from the start. That's why I've been begging for him to join Milan. I'll even pay 40 mil for Ziyech. Like, I genuinely would. I would. But for some reason, he's wanted on a €1 million loan for a year before any option to buy. With an option to buy, not a buying, not a.
You should do it. I think Milan should do that.
I know, but no. But Maldini, that's what Maldini wants. But Chelsea doesn't want that. Like
Uh,
Maldini wants a 1 million euro loan for a season with an option to buy. Like
mm,
he doesn't have to buy him after, right? That's what I think is stupid, bro. A player of that caliber like deserves to be paid like a good 35, 40. Like if you're paying 35 mil for Diki Talare, how are you not paying 35 mil for Ziyech? That's just my opinion.
that's
But
true.
my second
Okay,
player,
who is it?
or do you want to go first?
No,
And
no,
then I'll say
no,
my
no.
second
Who's your
player.
second player?
My second player is a man who actually did defy age, a man who continues to put incredible things on his resume, a man who surprises people time and time again. And one of the biggest reasons why he's a surprise player, right? Because Giroud has been having a great season, right? Like this is known, and he had a great season last year as well. But if you look at how he was used in the last World Cup and how he performed in the last World Cup, right? He did facilitate.
Yeah,
He wasn't
yeah.
looked at as the main man for goals, but he missed a chance or two. He didn't have a shot on target as a striker to not have a shot on target. That cements your role as not one of the primary goal scorers of the team, and B shows that you're, excuse me, shows that you're just not that guy, right? And then to come out and score 4 goals in the World Cup, after Mbappe having 7, but coming into the final they were tied top scorers. Um,
He's a fine wine, man. He's a fine
He
wine.
is. He is. He is. And I truly think like those jokes are now like it's time for them to die about Giroud is so average, but like when you look at his highlight reel, you'll think that he was one of the best ever. He genuinely is like one of the greatest strikers of all time at this point. Like
Yeah, I
like I
don't know
wouldn't
about that.
no. I wouldn't put him up there with like the greatest of the greatest, but like he's not a Thierry Henry.
No.
But like I would put him next to Raul, for example. I don't see much separating Giroud and Raul
I mean,
or Van
Raul's Real
Nistelrooy.
Madrid's. Oh no! Don't disrespect these guys. Come on now. I think Giroud's.
Bro, you're saying it. No, you're saying it like Giroud is not. Bro, Giroud is there. Giroud is
Yes,
that
but
guy.
he's
Giroud is
never.
on that
Yeah,
level.
but he never had the same goal scoring output these guys had. Raul is still Real Madrid's second top scorer. Van Nistelrooy still won how many golden boots for United, for PSV, for Real Madrid, and
Nah,
scored.
fair, fair.
Yeah, so I think Giroud is very good. He's probably
Like
top
maybe you
10.
could say he's like the
Yeah,
best B list
you
striker
know
ever.
what? I can say he's. Yeah, I'd say he's up there for the
Yeah,
B list strikers for sure.
yeah,
Um, you know, my surprise player is not. I wouldn't say it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know he was good. But Griezmann, did any of us expect
yeah.
him to be
I
this
agree.
influential?
I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. Yeah, man. Damn.
This
What a performance.
this
What a
guy
performance.
has killed it for France at 3 or 4 different tournaments in different positions. He was on the
Yeah.
wing. In 2018, he was the main striker, and now he's in this sort of free role, like Messi-ish, Neymar-ish territory, and he's pulling the strings. This guy makes everything happen for France. He makes everything tick, and
Yeah.
it annoys me because why doesn't he do this at club level? It's the French players. Pogba does the same thing for France. He puts on the shirt and something happens. But
Hmm.
he was one of the best players in the tournament. Honestly, I think if France won that, the World Cup,
He could have won
maybe,
player of the time.
yeah, Golden Ball. I think because wow,
Yeah.
Griezmann.
Facts. Can a player win Golden Boot and Golden Ball?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't know who did that before though. I don't think.
Also, I wanted to ask. I heard this somewhere, but from someone who isn't really a football fan. But apparently, right? It's like every World Cup, you get to take the World Cup to your home country until the next one, right? And then the winner takes it again.
Yeah.
But apparently, if you win 3 in a row, you get to keep that World Cup, and they have a new one made. Do you know if that's true?
3 in a row. No one's won it 3 in a row.
Didn't Brazil win 3 back to back?
Nah, because England won the one before their third.
Oh, okay,
It
fair
was
enough. Never
close
mind.
though. But
Yeah.
the thing is, Brazil kept the trophy, because that was the old trophy. They
Uh
were the
huh.
last
Also, they
winners.
made a
So
new one.
yeah, so
Okay.
they made the one we know now. Before that, it was
Fair.
really crap, to be honest. So small.
Yeah. Well, hey, final question before we finish off. We're both gonna have the same answer. I think it would be stupid to have any other answer, so I guess it's gonna be a short one. But favorite game?
I don't think we're gonna have the same answer. I mean, the World Cup final, yeah, okay, fine, but like we'll go something different. I'm gonna go for Japan in the win against Spain. Was the second one, right? Spain.
Spain was the second one. Yeah.
Yes, that one. That one, oh
Mm.
my gosh! Because it
Yeah.
happened once, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, good fluke win. It's a Saudi Arabia win, and then they did it again, and you're like, oh my gosh! As seeing an Asian country doing that, I was so happy, and they let me down in that final. I felt like an Asian dad. I felt like my dad when I let him down. You know, I was like, this is why I understand. I was so disappointed. I was like, you all useless. What's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
But up to them,
Yeah.
fairy tale story.
Yeah.
What about for you?
Man, the thing is, I the Saudi Argentina game was iconic, right? Iconic, and I'm not gonna dive into it because I've already done it like 400 times on this podcast. But I'd be a fool if I didn't say that the final was the best game of football I've ever seen in my entire life. That is the best game of football I've ever seen in my entire life. It had everything. It had a comeback story. It had the hero winning. It had the villain almost taking it away from him. It had you feeling sorry for the villain at the end. Like it just had everything. And
No, I agree with
I
that.
can't say anything about
No,
that.
I agree with that. I was trying to be different. I mean, but 100%,
No, yeah,
100%.
for sure.
I agree with that. The final, and we haven't even said Mbappe scored a hat trick. He's the first player since Jeff Hurst in 1966 to score a hat trick in a final, and this one is legit.
Yeah.
That one was like, did the ball cross the line? So Mbappe is one of the greats already
Yeah.
at 23. I've never changed my mind on a player this quickly, but this guy shut me up. Honestly, he shut
There you
me
go.
up. And I just want to apologize. I still don't like him. I still think he's a annoying person, that annoying face. But when you witness greatness, you
The
can't.
thing
deny
is,
it.
yeah. I'm not a fan of the guy, right? I can't deny his greatness. I'm not a fan of the guy, but you gotta boil it down to he's just a kid. Like, what do you think happens when you give 300 million euros to a kid?
That's the thing.
Like, they're gonna lose their way. He's just a kid who's lost his way. Like, at the end of the day, and that's kind of what I saw at that game, bro. Like, this guy is just a little kid, you know, and he just needs to mature. And I think when he matures, he's gonna have a good rest of his career. It just needs to be like in the next year or so, he needs to have a career-defining personality moment that's gonna snap him out of like the hole that he's in, right? Because he's right now he's like outside of the pitch, he's doing all the wrong things, and that's what's making people dislike him so much. But he is that good, and all he needs is just the right people around him to put his head back into like what's actually important and to leave what's not important. I think if he leaves PSG in the next year or two, his career can be saved and he can come down as one of the best ever.
I do agree with that. I think it does look. I did disagree like a few months ago that narrative, him or Haaland, but it's looking more and more like that's going to happen, especially if Mbappe goes to Real Madrid. That's going to be crazy.
For
him
sure.
Versus Haaland versus Rashford. But
Man said versus Rashford. I just thought, my goodness.
No, I don't actually think that.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I actually don't agree with you on the club football. I'm so excited. United play in 2 days. I'm really excited.
In 2 days? Oh, wow. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I'm going to the game. I'm hyped. I'm ready.
Nice, man.
But
nice. But yeah,
that rounds off the Touchliners coverage of the greatest World Cup of all time. We've seen the GOAT win it all. We've seen the new prodigy coming up, ready to take the crown from him whenever he falls. We've seen a fellow GOAT fall and break his leg and probably move to Saudi for the rest of his career. We've seen...
He broke his leg? Wait, what?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm like the GOAT broke his leg. We've seen an Arab team go almost all the way. What a tournament, man.
Honestly.
Amazing. But any last words from yourself, sir?
No, my phone's about to die. That's my last words.
That's calm. Well, we'll catch you guys on the next one, which may or may not be a special episode. But yeah, we will catch you guys on the next one. Follow, subscribe, like, all that good stuff in a bit.
Take care,
See you
man.
guys.